Have you ever paused for a moment and asked yourself, why is it that so few people make it to 90? Not just surviving, but truly living, waking up with energy, clarity, and purpose well into their 80s and beyond? Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't it mostly genetics? And sure, your DNA does play a part. But the truth that no one talks about enough is this. It's your daily habits, the small, seemingly harmless things that slowly shape your future, or quietly rob it from you. And after 60? Well, that's when those little habits start speaking louder. They begin to whisper through your joints, your energy, your memory, your motivation. But here's the beautiful part, just as you built those habits over time, you can also unbuild them. Swap them out. Choose again. And when you do, you give yourself a powerful chance not just to live longer, but to live stronger, clearer, and happier. So today, I want to have a heart-to-heart with you. We're going to talk about 5 habits that may be aging you faster than you realize. 5 habits that are so common, you might not even notice them anymore. And more importantly, I'll share how you can let go of each one and replace them with something life-giving. Let's start with one that affects nearly everyone I speak with, especially after retirement. It's this sneaky little thing called sitting too much. You might say, well, of course I sit. I'm retired now. I deserve to rest. And yes, of course you do. Rest is important. But when sitting becomes your default setting, from breakfast, to the TV, to the afternoon nap, to scrolling through your phone, your body quietly begins to change. Muscles shrink, bones weaken, circulation slows, and balance, it becomes something you used to have. Now, I'm not talking about going to the gym and pumping iron. I'm talking about standing up and walking around the house every 30 minutes. Taking a stroll after dinner. Maybe stretching your arms up above your head and wiggling your fingers like you're greeting the sun. These little movements might seem small, but over time, they become the difference between independence and relying on a walker. Or worse, a fall that changes everything. You see, your muscles don't know age. They only know use. And the more you use them, just a little every day, the more they serve you back. Now let's talk about the second habit. This one's tricky because it hides behind a comforting disguise: processed food. Think about your last week. How many meals came out of a package? A box? The microwave? Maybe it's a frozen dinner or a quick packet of noodles. They're easy, they're fast, and they've been part of our lives for decades. But here's the truth. After 60, your body doesn't bounce back from junk food like it used to. That salty snack, it raises your blood pressure. That sugary dessert, it clouds your mind and inflames your joints. Those fake ingredients with names you can't pronounce, your liver's working overtime just trying to figure them out. Now don't worry, I'm not saying you have to eat like a monk. Life should be tasty. But what if just once a day, you added something fresh? A juicy tomato, a crisp apple, a handful of almonds. Or maybe, just maybe, you cook a simple meal with love instead of heat and eat convenience. Because real food doesn't just feed your stomach, it feeds your cells, your mood, your brain. And when your insides are happy, you'll feel it from your head to your toes. And that leads me to the third habit that quietly steals joy and years from your life: isolating yourself. After 60, friends may move away. Children get busy. Some loved ones pass on. And before you know it, you've gone 3 days without talking to another soul. You might even tell yourself you prefer the quiet. And sometimes, that's true. But the danger lies in prolonged isolation, not chosen solitude, but accidental loneliness. Loneliness is a silent epidemic. Studies have shown it can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases your risk of heart disease, memory loss, depression, and even early death. But here's the hopeful part. Connection is everywhere if you're willing to reach out. Call that old friend you've been meaning to check on. Join a walking group. Sign up for a local class, even if it's online. Smile at your neighbor and strike up a conversation about the weather. Small threads of connection can weave into a rich, beautiful tapestry of support and joy. You are not meant to age in silence. You are meant to age in community, with laughter, shared stories, and hands to hold when things get hard. So if you found yourself sitting too much, eating out of boxes, or going days without a real conversation, you're not alone. And you're not broken. You're just human. But now, you have awareness. And awareness is powerful. Let's pause here for a moment. Take a breath. Reflect. Because change doesn't happen all at once, it happens moment by moment, choice by choice. And as we go forward, you'll see how even one small shift can begin to turn the tide towards something beautiful. Now that we've uncovered these first steps, let's keep going because there's more you deserve to know and even more you're capable of becoming. Absolutely. Let's pick up right where we left off, right in the heart of this important conversation. You're doing something powerful just by being here, by listening, by considering how the little things add up. That takes courage. And I want you to know, it's never too late to start steering the wheel in a better direction. Now, the next habit we need to gently, but firmly, let go of is skipping sleep like it doesn't matter anymore. Somewhere along the road of life, a lot of us were taught that sleep is a luxury. That if you're tough, you don't need much. That if you're older, your body just doesn't require the same amount of rest. But I want to challenge that idea because it's not just wrong, it's dangerous. Your body heals when you sleep. It repairs. It clears out toxins in your brain. It balances your hormones, regulates your appetite, strengthens your immune system. Sleep is your silent doctor, working the night shift while you dream. But when you don't give it enough time to do its job, everything starts to fall out of line. You might notice you're more forgetful. You get irritated easily. You feel sluggish in the morning, even if you stayed in bed for 8 hours tossing and turning. That's not aging. That's exhaustion. Now, I know sleep doesn't come easily for everyone. You might wake up at 2 a.m. and stare at the ceiling. Or maybe you nap during the day and struggle at night. That's normal, but it's not unfixable. Start with small steps. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Keep a regular bedtime. Let your room be quiet, cool, and dark. Maybe try gentle stretches or a cup of warm herbal tea in the evening. And here's a tip many seniors overlook: get some sunlight during the morning hours. Your body still runs on a clock, and sunlight helps reset it each day. You don't need pills to sleep while you need rhythm. You need peace. You need to stop telling yourself that tossing and turning is just part of getting old. It's not, and you deserve better. Now let's talk about something a little deeper, something emotional. Something many people carry quietly, without saying a word. It's the habit of holding on to regret. This one doesn't show up in your blood pressure. It won't come back on a lab test. But it's there in your shoulders, in your sighs, in the way you look at old photos and wonder, what if? We've all made mistakes. Said things we wish we hadn't. Let people walk away. Stayed in situations too long or left too soon. And it's easy to look back on your life with a critical lens and forget just how hard you were trying at the time. But living in regret? That steals your present. It keeps you stuck. It tricks you into believing the best parts of life are behind you. But I want you to hear this clearly, and from the heart. You are still becoming. There is still music to be written in your days. There are still moments that will take your breath away. But you can't welcome what's next if your hands are too full holding on to what was. It might help to say something out loud. Something simple. Try whispering this to yourself. I did the best I could with what I knew then. I forgive myself. That's not weakness. That's strength. And when you start practicing this kind of gentle release, when you stop feeding the loop of old guilt and start honoring the journey, you make space for something beautiful, grace, and joy, and possibility. Letting go isn't forgetting. It's choosing peace. And there's nothing more powerful than that. Which brings me to one last habit I want to share with you today, a habit that seems small, but can affect everything else. It's saying, "It's too late for me." I hear it more often than you might think. A 65-year-old says it about love. A 70-year-old says it about learning something new. An 80-year-old says it about getting healthy. They say it so casually, almost like it's a joke. But deep down, they believe it. I want to be very clear about something. Age doesn't disqualify you from anything. If anything, it gives you an advantage. Wisdom, patience, perspective. The truth is, you are right on time. Right now. Not 10 years ago. Not back when your knees were stronger or your calendar was fuller. Right here. Today. Do you want to start painting again? Do it. Want to finally take that train trip you've always dreamed about? Book the ticket. Want to forgive someone? Reconnect. Write a book. Start walking again. Learn to dance? Please, don't wait for permission. Give it to yourself. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not done growing. And the second you stop believing that lie, the world starts to open again. So let me ask you something personal. Now, what do you still want to do? What's the thing your heart keeps whispering to you when the house is quiet? Because now's the time to listen. And maybe that starts by changing one tiny thing. Maybe tonight, you go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Maybe tomorrow, you stand up and stretch during every commercial break. Maybe you call a friend. Maybe you eat a bowl of fruit instead of chips. Tiny, gentle shifts. That's all it takes. And as we keep going together, I want you to carry this truth with you. The journey to 90 isn't just about how many birthdays you have, it's about how much life you bring into each year. You're not here to just exist. You're here to thrive. And trust me, you still can. Beautiful. Let's bring this journey home. Now that we've cleared away some of those quiet habits that may have been holding you back, the sitting, the processed food, the regret, the sleepless nights, the quiet resignation that whispers, it's too late. There's one more we need to gently, but firmly step away from. And it's this, putting off joy. You might be surprised to hear that. But I've met so many wonderful people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who have convinced themselves that joy is for other people. For children, for newlyweds, for the younger, fitter, flashier version of who they used to be. But here's the thing, when you stop choosing joy, you start quietly slipping into survival mode. You stop looking forward to things. You get through the day, but you don't really feel it. You tell yourself you're content, but deep down, you miss something. You miss the sparkle, the belly laugh, the moment that makes your eyes well up with tears, not from sadness, but from being alive. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you laughed so hard your stomach hurt? Or danced in the kitchen to a song you forgot you loved? Or sat outside and let the breeze kiss your skin like it did when you were a child? Joy doesn't have to be big. It doesn't need permission. And it doesn't require perfect circumstances. It just needs you to say yes. Yes to the silly little adventure. Yes to singing along to the radio. Yes to a colorful plate of food. Yes to a phone call with someone who makes you feel seen. Yes to wearing that outfit you were saving for a special occasion, because today is one. Joy isn't selfish. It's not frivolous. It's fuel. And the more you let it in, the longer and better you live. Now, I want you to take a quiet breath with me. Go on. Inhale deep and let it out slowly. You've made it this far in life, through storms, through heartache, through triumphs and turning points. You've shown up for others again and again. But now it's your turn to show up for yourself. And that starts with letting go. Letting go of habits that no longer serve you. Letting go of stories that say you're too old, too late, too far gone. Letting go of patterns that were never really yours to begin with. Because when you let go of what weighs you down, you rise. Now, let's take a moment to pull everything together, not in a checklist, but like a soft thread weaving its way through your life. You stand more. You move a little more. You feel your body coming back to life, one stretch, one step at a time. You eat food that loves you back. Your cells thank you. Your mind clears. Your skin brightens. You start to feel lighter, not just physically, but emotionally. You sleep deeper, dream fuller. You wake up without that foggy heaviness and remember what it feels like to feel rested. You reconnect. You call. You visit. You let yourself be known again. And in doing that, the loneliness starts to loosen its grip. You forgive yourself, others. You no longer carry the past like a weight. You let it float. You make peace. You believe in tomorrow, not just as a repetition of today, but as a door that's still wide open. And you let joy in. You chase sunsets. You plant flowers. You try new things. You smile when no one's watching. You rediscover what makes you feel alive. None of this has to happen overnight. None of it requires perfection. But it does require intention. A gentle, daily decision to live really live with the time you have. And here's the part one need you to hear most clearly of all. Reaching 90 isn't just about dodging disease or checking boxes on a health chart. It's about crafting a life that's rich, not just long. Full of laughter, meaning, movement, and yes, joy. Because no matter what the calendar says, you still have chapters to write, moments to savor, people to touch, light to shine. So take this as your invitation, not from me, but from your own soul, to begin again. Today, not tomorrow. With courage, not fear. With grace, not guilt. With hope in your heart and life still in your hands. You are not done. You are not invisible. You are not broken. You are still here. And that means miraculously you still get to choose. So choose joy. Choose movement. Choose nourishment. Choose rest. Choose connection. Choose forgiveness. Choose now. And if this video meant something to you, if even one line made you pause or smile or feel understood, then I hope you'll share it with someone else who needs it. A friend, a sister, a neighbor. Because the best way to keep joy alive is to give it away. And if you haven't already, I'd be honored if you'd like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join this growing community of people who are choosing to live fully, not just long. You matter. You are loved. And you are worthy of a beautiful life at every age. Here's to living your best life with strength, peace, and joy starting right now. You're still here with me, and that says something about you. It says you care. It says you're willing to look inward and outward at the same time. It says you haven't given up. And that matters. More than you know. Because here's a quiet truth most people don't realize until much later in life. Growing older doesn't shrink you, it reveals you. It strips away the noise, the pretending, the rush, the expectations. It leaves behind the real stuff. The essence. The soul. And when you embrace that, when you stop trying to be who the world wants and start becoming who you are, that's when aging becomes something sacred. And yet, so many people miss this. Why? Because they're busy fighting time instead of befriending it. They chase the past. They mourn their reflection. They count wrinkles instead of blessings. And they waste precious years trying to stay 40 instead of learning how to thrive at 70. But what if we didn't fight age? What if we learned to dance with it? What if gray hair wasn't something to cover, but something to honor? What if the softening of the skin was matched by the deepening of the spirit? What if we looked in the mirror and said not I miss who I was, but I love who I've become? You see, you are not the sum of your youth. You are the story of everything you've endured, survived, given, learned, and forgiven. Every chapter matters. And the final ones? They can be the most powerful of all if you choose to write them with intention. Maybe for you, that means starting your mornings with a little stretch and a quiet prayer. Maybe it means walking barefoot in the grass and remembering what it feels like to just be. Maybe it's calling your son and telling him something you've never said. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for not being perfect, for simply being human. This part of life, it's not about speed. It's not about proving. It's about presence, about joy, about deciding that you are not just here to fill the time, but to feel it. So today, if you've ever looked at yourself and wondered, do I still matter? Let me be the one to answer that for you. Yes. More than ever. You matter because your story lights the way for others. You matter because your wisdom can still soften someone's pain. You matter because the world still needs what only you can offer. And if you're feeling alone in this season, please remember, loneliness may knock, but it doesn't have to live with you. There are still people to meet, conversations to have, smiles to share. Even through a screen, connection can bloom. You are not forgotten. You are not in life's waiting room. You are not too late. You are blooming, just in a different season. And I want to leave you with this. Think about the oak tree. Majestic, strong, rooted. It doesn't rush. It doesn't compare. It doesn't fear the wind. It simply grows inch by inch, year by year, becoming more solid, more sacred, more beautiful. You are that tree. So take your time. Stand tall. Let go of what no longer serves you, those 5 habits, and all the quiet doubts behind them. And let the sun touch your leaves again. Let laughter fill your lungs. Let grace soften your pace. Let purpose surprise you. And above all, let love guide everything you do from here on out. Because love is the one thing that never ages. Thank you for being here, for listening, for opening your heart. If this video found you at the right time, if it gave you something real to hold on to, then I hope you'll pass that gift along. Share it, like it, subscribe, and stay connected. You've still got time. You've still got magic. And the world is still better because you're in it. Now go. Live boldly. Live gently. Live like 90 is not the end of the story, but the middle of something extraordinary.